It's been about 10 months since I dropped What If Deku had half light, half dark. And since that video did so well, I decided to squeeze all the juice that idea had left with a Naruto series on that very same thing. So this What If was born, and honestly guys, I think it's even better. Like always though, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like, seeing as it took me so much time to make this video for you, and it takes you only 1 second of doing, and it also helps so much with YouTube's algorithm. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Okay, so we start with Naruto being born. Now everything in this version goes exactly like it does usually. However, this time around, ladies and gentlemen, I figured that I would have Naruto have a bit of a half and half kind of hair thing going on, where half of his hair is going to be like black and purple and the other half is going to be like a golden blonde, you know what I mean? Like it's just going to be like the biggest half and half thing, kind of like Todoroki pretty much. And one of his eyes is going to be purple, one of them is going to be like just the beautiful blue that Naruto has in the original. Pause, that came out a little weird. Anyways though, so pretty much what happens, and the reason that I'm going to be starting this off all at the beginning is because of one particular reason. I figured that this Naruto was going to be so overpowered that he's not going to need Kurama or even being a Jinchuriki. So I figured that we would change things up just a bit and make this story a whole lot more interesting. So obviously we start off with Obito, you know, kidnapping Naruto and all that stuff. And eventually we get to the point where Minato and Kushina jump in front of the claw of the Nine Tails who would pierce into them. Now Naruto, being a baby, obviously wouldn't exactly understand what's happening, but come on now bro, it's this gigantic fox, it's screaming, he sees two people in front of him getting pierced. That's extremely scary for a baby, and nobody else would be around in like a mile radius because of obviously the attack with the Nine Tails and all that. And so what pretty much ends up happening is Naruto starts crying unbelievably loud. Like it is actually so loud, it's genuinely not okay how loud Naruto starts screaming, but it's so incredibly loud, right, that Naruto just kind of, how do I put this? Naruto just kind of opens like his eye, his left eye, because that's where I'm going to be having the darkness come from, and his right eye is going to be light, but his left eye would begin glowing because he's scared, you know, he's angry, he's like just bothered by the sounds of Kurama, where suddenly just this dark vortex of just like literally darkness that can suck things up like a black hole would yank both Kushina, Minato, and even the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. It would spin like a tornado before completely dissipating, and Hiruzen would end up arriving, being just far enough from the thing's reach that it wouldn't suck him up, but he would watch as the entire tornado dissipates, and it does so right next to Naruto. Kurama was gone, Minato was gone, Kushina was gone, and literally they could not have done anything to stop that. Naruto just let out the biggest amount of darkness energy that he could have possibly mustered. And just so you know, this is going to be having a little bit of inspiration from Blackbeard's Devil Fruit, as well as darkness characters such as Shadows and stuff like that. And then we're also going to be taking some inspiration from the Pika Pika no Mi, which is Kizaru's Devil Fruit, and also other light magic users and stuff like that, to basically formulate this ability that Naruto's going to have, that in his world is going to be classified as a KK Genkai, right? Naruto's going to have the half light, half dark KK Genkai in his world, or exactly that's what they're going to call it, just to justify his abilities, or so Hiruzen's going to call it. And pretty much what would end up happening is that when Hiruzen sees this, he would be completely shocked, going over towards the baby Naruto, being like, was that him? And he would have his suspicions, but he ultimately ends up raising the kid knowing that it is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the son of Minato and Kushina, and so he vows to raise and protect them. This time, because he's not the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, he doesn't actually have the Jinchuriki inside of him. However, he does still have the whiskers as a mutation from Kurama being inside of Kushina. So people still are going to be like weirded out by that, and they would still kind of have their suspicions, but nobody ends up actually spreading the rumors this time, because he would grow up not being told about about his powers or abilities. And because Danzo can't exactly make that lie, and even if he would, I think that Hiruzen would stop it from happening, considering that it actually isn't true. It's literally just a lie. So Danzo's like little plan of trying to make everyone hate Naruto wouldn't work. And so Naruto ends up eventually getting to the age of 6 years old. Hiruzen doesn't end up throwing Naruto out of his place that he normally lived at with Hiruzen for his upcoming years, and because of this, Naruto and Hiruzen would actually have a pretty decent relationship with each other, where once Naruto is 6 years old, Hiruzen would finally tell Naruto about what he saw the day that he was born. He would explain to Naruto everything. He can't keep it a lie, and he's not going to tell Naruto about how he killed his parents, but he is going to tell Naruto how he did ultimately kill Kurama, right? Or he sent Kurama to a realm where he has no idea what is even in there, right? And the reason that the darkness is going to corrupt Naruto is because the darkness would have corrupted Kurama to a point of no return. So every time he taps into the darkness, he taps into the abilities of he taps into Kurama's hatred basically, and chakra and darkness, and it's just going to be really broken, right? But he's not going to be able to tap into the Nine Tails abilities or KCM or anything like that, in case you're wondering. That said though, Naruto, because of Hiruzen knowing these abilities that Naruto does have, or of one ability, Hiruzen would try to train Naruto and try to get him to use these abilities for like a couple of months, just trying to train him and trying to get the ability out of Naruto, but nothing. It would almost feel as though it wasn't Naruto the one who actually did that, because the power just doesn't manifest. And so we skip to Naruto all the way into the future, when Naruto has stolen the scroll of sealing, and it would be head on facing Mizuki, the ninja who would have put him up to this task and ultimately trying to kill Naruto. Mizuki would see Naruto and tell him, "Naruto, give me the scroll. I had no idea you would truly be capable of doing it. Looks like you can actually get your headband, Naruto." And Naruto looks at Mizuki and he would be like, "Oh, thanks," you know what I mean? Before then, Mizuki says, "Come on, hand over the scroll, Naruto." And Naruto goes to grab at it, and at this moment, Hiruzen throws a shuriken, a demon blade shuriken, which would blitz at Naruto, and Naruto, seeing that his life was about to come to an end, Naruto dodges out of desperation using his half light side, which would allow Naruto to move at the speed of light itself, as he would smirk and would blitz Mizuki, knocking him out in front of Iruka, who would barely arrive, and see a flash of golden light coming off of Naruto, as he would promote Naruto instantly, realizing that. And because of this, Naruto goes over towards Hiruzen's office, where he would explain what happened, how out of nowhere he had the ability to tap into speed that he never thought was even possible. Naruto moved so fast that he literally went past Mizuki the first time he tried to knock him out, and had to go shooting back at him to try to finally hit him. And Hiruzen, realizing this, would think to himself that maybe, just maybe, Naruto has both darkness and light inside of him. And so for 2 days before Naruto has to finally go back to the academy, Naruto would train with Hiruzen, gaining a very basic understanding of his light abilities and not being able to really control his speed. He obviously has it, but because of the fact that Naruto doesn't have full control over it, sometimes he overshoots his targets, and sometimes he's not able to keep up with, the speed that he's moving at, right? Because his perception can't do it, kind of like the Chidori. And so Naruto would find himself in the classroom being assigned onto Team 7 alongside Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi. And then the bell test would be told to them by Kakashi, right? Telling them, "Hey, don't eat or else you're going to regret it. Like, I'm going to make you puke it up." And, all of them obviously hearing this, they agree. They're like, "All right, we're not going to do it." And so what pretty much ends up happening is that they just don't get breakfast, and they meet Kakashi the next day. Now, obviously, the bell test is kind of going to be one of those things that isn't really going to be too important, but there is one thing that does happen. Now, obviously, Naruto this time around still tries to blitz at Kakashi. However, Naruto, using his light abilities, would be able to blitz Kakashi and actually tag him, robbing one of the bells from Kakashi. Kakashi being absolutely shocked, as he would lift up his headband, being like, "How did Naruto move that fast?" And ultimately, Naruto would rush at him again. However, this time he couldn't control his speed and went crashing straight into a tree. Sasuke, watching this all go down, would be just completely jealous and foaming out the mouth at the fact that Naruto's that fast. And Naruto tosses the bell at Sasuke, saying, "Sasuke, help me get the other one, and me and you can pass, and maybe we can figure out a way for Sakura to pass." And after Sasuke hears Naruto literally put him in front of himself, would be like, oh, maybe I misjudged him. And so he actually goes over and tries to help Naruto out with him taking out Kakashi and getting the bells. Sasuke jumps in using a fire stall jutsu, which Kakashi easily dodges, and then he would throw shuriken at him, which he would substitute with, and eventually Sasuke, because he's facing off against Kakashi who has a Sharingan active, would not be able to tag him whatsoever. The taijutsu bout would be cut very, very short, but ultimately Naruto shoots a beam of light at the direction of Kakashi, which Kakashi using his Sharingan would barely be able to dodge, but it would kind of like nick the side of his ribs, and it would leave a burn mark, a scorching burn mark on his side, which Kakashi would have to hold on to with his hand and just be kind of like gritting his teeth at how much it hurt. Naruto from here goes on to look at Kakashi and be like, bullseye, and after this Kakashi would be like, huh, he's pretty strong, before then weaving hand signs for a water jutsu and shooting it at the direction of Naruto, who would blitz out of the way using his light abilities, and eventually Naruto would end up being in front of Kakashi, as you know, Kakashi would be caught off guard and Naruto would try to snag at the bells, with Sasuke finally freeing himself from the restraints that he would have been placed under by Kakashi, and Sasuke throwing shuriken at Kakashi so he couldn't dodge, and Naruto was able to grab the bell, and ultimately he would pass with the help of Sasuke. Now obviously we know that Kakashi believes in teamwork and that's the only reason to let them pass, but considering that Naruto and Sasuke just made an effort and he could probably get Sakura to work and incorporate herself with them, he decides that he's just going to be letting them pass. And so after this, Naruto goes on to talk with Hiruzen as he was told to right after the bell test and after he passes. During the next 2 weeks worth of D rank missions, he would train with Hiruzen every day, learning basic taijutsu movements, and Hiruzen would even spend the time trying to teach Naruto how to tree walk, not water walk but only tree walk. Naruto gains a bit more of understanding of how to control his speed with this ability and would learn how to regulate it so that he doesn't just go full throttle every time, because going full throttle actually tires Naruto out very, very rapidly, because it is extremely fast, the rate that Naruto's movement, and his body just can't keep up. As Naruto grows up and gets older and his body matures, he's going to be able to handle even more speed and even more darkness and even more light attacks. And so he would work on just his speed, he would work on his taijutsu, tree walking, and during these 2 weeks he would also work on his ability of shooting light beams from his fingers, which would come in very much so in handy, and Naruto eventually would make his way towards Hiruzen's office once more at about 2 weeks later, when they would all request a C rank mission from Hiruzen, and ultimately Tazuna the Bridge Builder would come out and be introduced as the Bridge Builder, saying that they needed to take him to the Land of Waves, and everybody would end up agreeing to the mission. Naruto, being very, very much so happy at the fact that he can finally leave the village, would go, and Hiruzen would warn Kakashi of the ability that he saw when he was a kid, telling him not to tell Naruto nothing, and that Naruto should already kind of know about something like that. Kakashi understands, nodding, and so they make their way towards the Land of the Waves arc, where ultimately they end up encountering the demon brothers, right? Now both of them would try to blitz at the direction of Naruto and Sasuke, and Naruto, because he still hasn't actually fought against real people, would still get scared off, leading Sasuke to have the scaredy cat moment, and Naruto pledging that he's not going to get scared off again, stabbing into his hand and ultimately healing it with Kakashi bandaging him up, and eventually them leading themselves towards the direction of where Zabuza would end up encountering them. A thick fog would ensue, and obviously the battle between Zabuza and Kakashi would play out just like it does in the original. However, this time instead of Naruto freeing Kakashi from the water prison bubble, he would do it all by himself without the help of Sasuke, because he would use his light abilities to shoot a beam at the direction of Zabuza, which Zabuza would be like, what is that? And it would destroy 2 shadow clones before piercing through even that, and Kakashi would be freed from the bubble because Zabuza had to dodge out of the way to move from the attack. And so Naruto, being able to save Kakashi, would ultimately stay away, not making his way towards there, as Kakashi whips out his Sharingan and quickly manhandles Zabuza, who would have believed that Kakashi could see in the future. And so the first encounter would stay the same, with Haku still taking Zabuza away, and eventually the second meeting would happen. But before that, Naruto would have his encounter with Inari, and all of those things would still go down just like usual. I need a water break. BRB. Okay, I got my water here. BRB, give me a second. Trust me, y'all, it's a lot harder than you guys would think to actually talk and not stop the microphone from recording. than you guys would think. Try talking for 15 minutes without drinking water, or taking a really, really strong moment to take your breath and just like be like, you know what I mean? Like, just try. It's really, really hard. It's a lot harder than you guys would think. But anyways, continuing on with the story, we get a moment in which Zabuza would end up getting healed with Haku, and Naruto would encounter Haku in the forest. He still has his moment in which he believes Haku to be a girl and tries to raise her up, and then when Haku leaves, ultimately he reveals that he was a boy the whole time. Naruto kind of cringes at the realization and would just fall down on the ground knowing that he was ultimately godded by Haku, right? Eventually though, the day would come where the bridge builder battle would happen. However, this time around, I'm going to be changing one thing slightly. Naruto trains extra hard the night before, trying to learn a new ability with his light abilities, right? And so because of that, Naruto wasn't fully able to control himself. He wasn't able to fully like regulate his abilities, and so he exhausted himself, leading him to wake up about 20 minutes later than he would in the original, barely when he hears a loud thud in the house, right? He hears Inari scream and he goes outside to check on what's happening, only to see two thugs before Naruto blitzes at them and dink hits them both using like 25% speed, which is what Naruto can properly regulate at this point, which leaves him on the levels of like very, very fast Naruto characters, right? I'm not gonna say how fast exactly, because I know that Naruto characters could move at the speed of light towards the end of the arc. So let's say 25% of the speed of light is still really fast. So I'm gonna say that it's about Kakashi levels of speed, right? He moves at Kakashi levels of speed and ultimately would be able to take them both out without the Sharingan. No, you know, with the Sharingan, whatever. And so using this, Naruto would finally determine that he needs to go save his team, seeing that maybe other people will be over there facing them. Naruto rushes towards the direction of Team 7, and when Naruto would finally arrive on the bridge with a smile on his face, he'd say, "Don't worry guys, I'm here," before then looking at the direction of Zabuza and Kakashi, who would be fighting, and then turning his gaze towards the direction of Haku and Sasuke. Sasuke having a bunch of Senbon needles thrown at him right at this second, and Sasuke collapsing onto the floor, Senbon needles sticking out of him from every which way, as Naruto watches this happen in slow motion, and it would be as if the entire area would begin to shake when Naruto sees this. Naruto would be like, "Why would you do that? He was just a kid. He didn't even get to finish his goal. He didn't even get to." Naruto having this realization hit would be just completely shocked. He's trembling literally at the realization. And as he trembles, the ground begins to shake, and Haku, looking towards the direction of Naruto, would begin getting worried. And Naruto's eyes would kind of like both glow in simultaneous fashion, with Naruto then blitzing at Haku with insane speeds using his darkness half, not exactly as fast as the light, but like, let's say like half as fast, right? Because darkness is actually, I think darkness is just as fast as light. Like darkness covers things just as fast as light does, but light is like a bit faster, I think. I'm not sure. But let's just say that he does blitz Haku, and ultimately he opens a portal of a black vortex, which sucks Haku in, and he would then shoot her out, as we would just see a decaying Haku who aged up significantly and would be like so fragile and bony, and would just like cough his final breath, as Zabuza, seeing that this kid just turned into a complete like animal monster, looking towards the direction of Kakashi, they would both stop their battle. And Zabuza, enraged at the fact that Haku died deep down, would be able to like hold it together for a minute before then finally rushing at Naruto and saying that he's a bigger threat than Kakashi ever could be, rushing at him with a sword before Naruto in a brief instant would pretty much like go into the earth. Like Naruto goes into his shadow, and Naruto inside of his shadow would get attacked by Zabuza, who would try to swing at the air, but Naruto goes into his shadow and grabs onto the legs of Zabuza before dragging him into his shadow realm and leading Zabuza to be completely caught off guard, just like, what? And Zabuza is shot into the same dimension that Naruto would have shot Haku into before he shoots Zabuza out, and Zabuza would have aged significantly, being nothing but dust on the earth. Kakashi, seeing this, realizing that his whole team is gonna die, Tazuna included, if he doesn't calm Naruto down, would get an idea at the last moment before Naruto turned his attentions towards him and was about to rush him. Kakashi using the transformation jutsu would transform into Hiruzen and try to calm Naruto down that way by by attacking his emotions and like trying to get Naruto to snap out of it. Naruto seeing Hiruzen, the man who would have actually raised him his life and actually been nice to him, actually, have kept him in his side to not let the people of Konoha treat him like garbage, since Naruto actually had friends this time around, kind of, considering some people still had their suspicions. Naruto seeing Hiruzen would stop for a brief moment before just collapsing on the floor and completely passing out due to energy exertion, which he would have completely like done using all of the abilities that he would have used to defeat Haku and Zabuza. Seeing this, Kakashi would sigh a sigh of relief, and then he would see that Gato and his men would end up arriving. Seeing this, Gato would be completely shocked and that Zabuza and Haku were dead, and he'd be like, well, whatever, man. If you can't do something right, guess you gotta do it yourself, right? All of Gato's men would immediately begin meat riding him, and from here, Gato would tell them to attack. Before, we would see a scene with all the villagers of the village hidden in the mist arriving, and ultimately, Gato and all of his men would be sent running away with their tails between their legs, and Gato finally leaving that village alone, leading Kakashi to pick Naruto up and taking him to Tazuna's house, where he would recuperate for 3 days before waking up and being briefed on what happened. Sakura now seeing Naruto in that kind of light, being kind of scared of her, and Kakashi explaining to Naruto what happened, not being afraid of Naruto freaking out, which would actually end up scaring Naruto at his own power, and even Sasuke would overhear what Naruto did, with Kakashi explaining that his ability definitely needs to get worked on, and that the whole team could have died at that moment, that Naruto's power is unlike anything he's ever seen before. When Naruto tapped into that darkness, he was at minimum Kage level, and Naruto would be shocked by this realization before then asking, how do I control it? And Kakashi would say, honestly, Naruto, I don't know, but I think I know somebody who could help us. The 4th Hokage. You have been training with him recently, haven't you? And Naruto turns to Kakashi before saying, well, that I have, but that was supposed to be kind of a secret. And Kakashi would say, well, it's not a secret anymore. I think we should let you train with Hiruzen. I think that something like that could definitely help you out with controlling these strange abilities. What do you even call it, Naruto? It's almost as if you have half light and half dark. Is it some sort of Keiki Genkai? And Naruto turns to Kakashi and says, that's what me and Hiruzen have hypothesized, but we're not sure. We think that it might have come from the Namikaze clan, but since nobody else in the history has shown that ability, we think that it might be something completely different. But for now, we call it a Keiki Genkai, something that I started randomly. And Sasuke would say, okay, hold on, look. So Naruto's been training with the 4th Hokage this whole time, and how does Naruto even have ties to the Namikaze clan? And who's his father? Before Kakashi would say, oh, that's right, most of the village doesn't know, but Naruto's the son of the 4th Hokage, the Yondaime, Minato Namikaze. And when Sasuke hears that, he'd be like, what? Naruto's the son of the 4th? He'd say he doesn't believe it. Before Kakashi says, whether you believe it or not, his hair and eyes are uncanny. That is the 4th son, and that's the reason that Hiruzen's been training and raising Naruto ever since he could remember. He was born and something happened with Naruto when he was born. Hiruzen hasn't told me all the details, but all I know is that the day that Naruto born, his parents died randomly, simultaneously. It's almost as if they're linked or something. And Naruto would say, yeah, I guess. Not even knowing that, but Kakashi just let it slip randomly, and now Kakashi has Naruto thinking about that, but ultimately Naruto talks to Sasuke and would say not to be jealous, that honestly, as much as this power does kind of seem cool, and maybe it could help, it's a bit of a curse at the same time, considering that Naruto doesn't know how to use it, and that it's something that's been getting in his way ever since he was a kid, ever since he could remember. And so, Sasuke, gritting his teeth, thinking to himself how jealous he is of Naruto, would just walk it off and like, whatever. They make their way back towards the village in an awkward silence, and once they end up returning, hold on, let me take my script out so that I can read it better. Put these headphones down. Okay, and then once they end up actually returning to the village, Naruto would spend the next entire week training with Hiruzen on a daily, trying to tame his darkness powers, but they notice that it kind of makes him evil in a way, Every time that Naruto tries to use his darkness abilities, something inside of Naruto changes. It's almost like he has a complete 180 personality flip. However, one time, Naruto did use his light with his dark in tandem. Naruto let off a bit of darkness come off of his left side or right side or whatever it is that I said. And then from his other side, light emerged. And Naruto seemed the same. Nothing changed. Naruto felt not too different. Every time that Hiruzen has tried to train Naruto and him using his dark side, Naruto has been blatantly trying to actually kill the Hokage. The attacks that he uses aren't things that you would normally use against an old man. Like, he's blatantly trying to kill him. But luckily, Hiruzen is more than strong enough to keep up with it. And using chakra pills, Hiruzen is able to replenish himself and get back to 100%, being able to face off against Naruto like it was nothing. They both continue this type of training, and eventually by the end of the 1 week break, Kakashi would finally end up informing them of the Chunin exams. Hiruzen saying that he thinks Naruto is ready, and that if anything happens, then, he'll be around to stop everything, right? Naruto bows down to Hiruzen and says, "Thank you, old man," before he then, accepts, and everybody else on Team 7 would do so as well. 3 more days would pass, and Naruto for 2 days would end up training with Hiruzen before taking the 3rd day to rest. Naruto, using this time, would have tried to do his own simple training on his own, trying to see if he could work something out, and because of this, Naruto would kind of figure out a brand new attack. Naruto now knows the basic darkness abilities, like shooting out a small dark ball or a small vortex of darkness that he can only shoot out from his hand that could drag things in, but he can't suck them in completely. And he also knows the ability to use the darkness in his hand to punch someone with it, which can negate their chakra for a few seconds, think 3 or 5, which is more than enough considering that somebody without chakra, without their jutsus, is pretty much nothing but Rock Lee, and without an insane taijutsu ability, you can't really do nothing against Naruto. That said, Naruto could potentially completely negate it, but since he doesn't have a complete control over his dark ability, he can't exactly tap into that. And so, he doesn't really focus on his light powers this whole time, meaning that those light powers kind of get a bit rusty. But ultimately, he does spend a bit of time working on those light powers, knowing that the Chunin exams is tomorrow, so he works on that a tad bit and gets a bit of the rust off. But ultimately, when they end up walking inside of the Genin Tower, they would make their way towards the direction of the Chunin exams room. And so a random team walks over to them and tells them that they weren't seriously going to go into that door. Before Sasuke looks at them and he would say, "What are you talking about?" Before Neji smirks and says there's no way that people like them, who can't even recognize a low-level genjutsu, could ever dream of becoming Chunin, before laughing and walking off. Suddenly, we then get a scene between Rock Lee going up to Sasuke, challenging him, and ultimately folding my man like a chair, right? He folds him like a chair in front of Sakura, and then proceeds to confess his love to her, right? He then dips after this turtle comes over, and Guy Sensei would end up arriving and telling Lee not to take off his weights and all that stuff. But ultimately what pretty much ends up going down is that Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura find themselves in the examination room. Now I'm going to skip it because it's really boring, and I'm going to skip straight over to what you guys are here for, the action. Naruto and the squad getting rushed by Orochimaru. That's what y'all want to hear, right? I mean, that's what I want to tell. Anyways though, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, like I said, would be in the Forest of Death. Anko explained the rules, and obviously just like usual, Orochimaru would be around. Now, just like in canon, Naruto goes off and diverts to go use the restroom real quick, or use the trees, and then during this time, Orochimaru would end up encountering the team. Using his bloodlust, he causes Sasuke not to be able to move, which Sasuke ends up stabbing himself in the leg to override the fear with pain, ultimately allowing Sasuke to get out of the way and not get bitten yet. And this would lead Naruto with more than enough time to, using his light abilities, shoot in front of Sasuke and look at Orochimaru, who would be shocked at how fast this Genin was. He'd lick his lips and think, Naruto, it seems that you've gotten a lot stronger than I thought you would. It seems being the son of the fourth has its perks. Before saying that him and the fourth were both entitled to become Hokage long ago, and that he's gonna have a blast tearing his son limb from limb. Naruto then looking at Orochimaru and saying, try it, old freak. Before he then looks at Orochimaru, and they would both instantly get into a taijutsu battle, which Orochimaru would be shocked at by the levels of strength and the fact that Naruto's not even afraid. Keep in mind, Naruto's been training with Hiruzen, somebody who is on the chakra levels of Orochimaru, if not higher, and somebody who definitely got the hands for days. So he's not exactly afraid of anything that Orochimaru could throw his way, and he would keep up with Orochimaru very decently, while Orochimaru wasn't exactly trying its hardest. Eventually, Orochimaru would get kind of desperate, thinking to himself that if more commotion happens, potentially more ninjas will arrive, and that would blow his cover. So Orochimaru steps his game up and begins using higher level jutsus, higher level taijutsu attacks, and ramps up his speed. And that's when Naruto would finally find himself in a pickle, because Naruto is not having an easy time anymore, and his light abilities and speed is not holding up too well in this fight. Obviously he's fast enough to keep up with Orochimaru, but using his light abilities, it's draining him so incredibly heavily. Naruto shoots a light beam at Orochimaru, which Orochimaru barely dodges by the chin of his by the hair on his chin, right? And he then goes over towards shooting a snake jutsu at Naruto, which Naruto destroys by using a darkness vortex, which Naruto almost loses control of. But when Orochimaru sees that, he would say, "Interesting. It appears that your body is the one that I should be after, not Sasuke, but for now, I'll complete the main objective." Before then using a substitution jutsu, and Naruto hits this log with a wood beam that he would shoot at, and from here Orochimaru appears right next to Sasuke before in a freaky way bro goes on and bites into Sasuke's neck and gives him a hickey. Now Sasuke passes out from the horrible hickey he just got, and Orochimaru proceeds to say, "I'll see you another day, Naruto." But Naruto, watching Orochimaru having just like knocked out his teammate, and Orochimaru Orochimaru even beat on Sakura a bit, considering that Sakura, watching Sasuke almost about to get hurt, would have put her life on the line, jumping in front and trying to protect Sasuke. But Orochimaru, using a simple Wengen jutsu, shot her into a tree and completely knocked her out, sending her falling like 11 feet from the ground. And Naruto had to watch all of that happen in slow motion. Basically, Naruto is pissed. Like, I don't think you guys understand how angry Naruto gets when he sees that happen. And when Naruto sees that, he's not playing no types of games. Bro, the claws are off. Like, Naruto is ready and he's about to clap this boy Orochimaru's cheeks. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Orochimaru, you are a dead man. But pretty much as soon as Naruto sees that, Naruto's like, I can't let it. And then like he lets out this gigantic scream, and this just beam of like black and white or golden aura just shoots up into the air, and Naruto then appears in front of Orochimaru with a devilish grin on his face, before then saying that it's over. And Orochimaru would say, "Not yet, kid," as he tries to use his reverse summoning jutsu, right? But it doesn't work. Orochimaru would be like, "What? My jutsu, my chakra." He would ask if he siphoned it, and they would be inside of a darkness cocoon, like just this gigantic orb of darkness where all you could see is just pitch black, except for Naruto, which was the only thing that would radiate light off of anything. And Orochimaru would be like, "What's going on?" And Naruto says nothing. Like his darkness eye is just glowing purple, and he looks at Orochimaru and says that he hurt his team, and he's going to be paying the ultimate price for that. He tells him that the price, it's death, and it's not going to be a slow one either. And Orochimaru, hearing that, would immediately just be like, "Hey yo, like what? Like, what are you talking about?" And Naruto's not playing no more games. Like, Naruto is on go, you know what I mean? So he blitzes at Orochimaru and instantly shoves like an orb of darkness, and he just smashes it into Orochimaru's stomach, piercing an entire hole in his stomach, causing Orochimaru to bleed all over Naruto and cough out blood. And Naruto then grabs Orochimaru by the hair before then looking at him dead in his eyes. And bro, like, Orochimaru feels like he's staring at the Grim Reaper in his eyes. And Naruto just looks at him and says, "You're dead," before like pretty much using his darkness and opening his mouth as Orochimaru's soul gets sucked into Naruto. Like, Naruto, using his darkness ability, doesn't suck Orochimaru into the darkness void that he has. He sucks his soul. Like, think about that. Naruto pulls up on Orochimaru, tells him he's dead, and then just sucks in his soul. His whole entire soul just gets completely sucked out. And now, not in that way, by the way, guys. Like, he doesn't suck his soul out, you know, in that way, if you know what I'm saying. But no, Naruto does definitely kill Orochimaru, and that's it. Like, Orochimaru's not coming back. It's not like Orochimaru's body died and Orochimaru can come back with a curse mark. Like, without your soul, there's nothing to tie you to the world of the living. So Orochimaru just got straight manhandled by a 13-year-old Geni. And then suddenly the cocoon of darkness would fall before Naruto just falls unconscious. And now Sakura has to deal with two teammates that are completely unconscious. She takes them to the cave, and eventually the situation between Rock Lee trying to defend Sakura as well as Naruto and Sasuke would go down. Sasuke wakes up before Naruto because all Naruto has is chakra exertion. And so when Sasuke proceeds to activate his curse mark ability, he uses that to absolutely destroy the Genin that would have went over to try to intimidate them and pretty much capture Sasuke. He snaps the arms of one of them, and then Naruto wakes up shooting a beam of light into the air before looking at Sasuke and seeing what he's doing and being like, Sasuke, this isn't you, stop. And Sasuke turning to Naruto would be like, what do you know what I am, Naruto? I think it's about time that we even the playing field. This power. Gripping his fist, he would say, it's incredible. I don't know who that was that attacked us, but I need more. And Naruto says that power is only going to corrupt him. He should know what it feels like to be like that. He's seen Naruto being corrupted. Does he truly want to be just like him? And Sasuke would say, no, I'm going to be better. Before blitzing at Naruto, and Naruto using his light ability to dodge out of the way before shooting a light beam at Sasuke, which would pierce him in the side and burn his side, right? Sasuke then rushing in at Naruto, and Naruto would be like, I didn't want to have to do this. But so he has to use a light kick to kick at Sasuke at light speed and send him crashing through 3 trees, ultimately having to create a shadow clone to carry Sasuke all the way towards the Chunin Tower, and eventually they would have 2 days of rest, as during that time, Kakashi would seal away the curse mark for Sasuke, and although Sasuke does want to use that power more, realizing the fact that Naruto only using his light side was able to just completely body him, Sasuke would have a massive reality check, realizing that he's not exactly going to be getting nowhere if he continues down this path. And so Sasuke thinks maybe something else might work. And so eventually we would find ourselves 2 days later as they have the preliminary battles, and Naruto still has to face off against Kiba. Now Naruto not wanting to beat down on Akamaru, seeing as that's still his opponent, Naruto would be like, you know what, I'm gonna be nice, Kiba, you can quit now or you're not gonna like it. And Kiba would laugh, as if I'm gonna let the #1 loser of the classroom intimidate me. Naruto, you've always been weaker than me. There's no way you're gonna beat me. And Naruto would just be like, all right then, Kiba, I guess you chose your own destiny. Hopefully you're still happy with it when you see what happens. And Kiba would be like, whatever, Naruto, fang over fang. Blitzing at Naruto would simply appear behind Kiba and would say, hey Kiba, I'm over here, using his light speed to just blitz all over the arena. And Kiba, after having used all of his fang over fang attacks at Naruto, would begin finally tiring out. Naruto then looking at Kiba and saying that that's it, that's all the steam he has. If so, he should quit now, considering that Naruto is not even close to being finished. He's just getting started. Kiba looks at Naruto with anger in his eyes, and he would say, Akamaru, fang over fang, rushing at Naruto at his top speeds as Naruto stands still. And using his vortex, he would say, hopefully this doesn't hurt, hopefully I can control this, as Naruto holding it out would have Kiba in a state of just straight limbo. Kiba could not move, and Naruto, he concentrated so much and was able to cancel Kiba's chakra long enough for Naruto to blitz at Kiba, punch him in the stomach one good time, and Kiba just got knocked out. Kiba was you know what I mean? He threw up all over the ground before passing out, and then Kiba was taken away on a stretcher. He was out cold. And Naruto then looked at Kiba with a sad expression on his face, saying that he warned him, before Kiba then gets taken away and Naruto would see Hinata in the stands, her giving him some ointment, and Sasuke's battle being up next. Now this time, when Neji's about to hit Hinata and he's about to use the finishing blow to kill her, Naruto appears alongside all of the Jonin in such a cool scene and would be right there ready to actually kill Neji if he lands that blow on her. He would look at Neji before saying, "Look, Neji, you better stop this right now, because if you try anything else to try to hurt Hinata ever again, I promise you, Neji, I will kill you. And there's not going to be a hint of remorse inside of me." His darkness side glowing purple and dark as Orochimaru, the memory of what he did to Orochimaru hits him, and Naruto looks at Neji with these eyes of just like, I've killed before, like, and I'm not afraid to do it again. And Neji would just grit his teeth before saying, "Whatever, Naruto," before then walking off and being announced the winner. Then the finals matches would be announced, and Naruto would look at Neji after being announced that he's gonna face him off before smirking at him and doing the "you're dead" thing with his finger. He uses his thumb to slash it across his neck, like to kind of symbolize him being like, "You're dead," you know what I mean? And Neji, of course, he understands what he means. And so over the course of this 1 month training, Naruto and Hiruzen would actually be the ones who train together. Obviously, Jiraiya would be introduced to Naruto by Hiruzen, and it would happen a whole lot differently than it did in canon. So Jiraiya would actually help out with the training for Naruto. However, since Jiraiya is more in aptitude with the speed and stuff like that, he would be the one who would be working out with Naruto how to use his light abilities and, thinking about different moves that Naruto could potentially use to, continue his fight. You know what I mean? Like thinking of different things that Naruto could potentially have to ultimately, get Naruto to be stronger, obviously. And Naruto thought of a couple of ideas while he was with Jiraiya. Things like expanding light bolts, like light bolts that he could shoot out and they just expand in just a glow of light, which can actually affect and burn people, kind of like the sun, right? Hand blast that he can shoot from his hands, obviously light beams. He can also shoot light from his literal mouth. He can shoot light balls that will literally chase you, explosion orbs, and not only that, but Naruto would have even came up with some kind of like not exactly like the solar flare, but kind of like that, where his light is so radiant that like you'll literally get blinded, you know what I mean? And yeah, like that's pretty much what he would have worked on entirely when it comes to Jiraiya. He also would have worked on his zapping abilities of using his light to, get so incredibly fast that, you can't even tell that he moves, like so fast that it looks like he teleported. Orbs of darkness that also will chase you around, and if they touch you, your chakra's done for. Cocoon of darkness, which is something that Naruto does work on as well, and he can coat himself in the darkness so that you can't see him. So you're basically in a void and you just can't fight back against Naruto, because you can't fight against something you can't see. Of course, unless you have like some sort of genjutsu, which can detect chakra. I mean, not genjutsu, but dojutsu, which can detect chakra and stuff like that, which obviously something like the Byakugan would be perfect for. Naruto also comes up with abilities like using his darkness to create shadows and using his shadows to go into the darkness, you know what I mean? And be able to be one with the shadows. So you literally couldn't hit him unless you're using a light attack, something like a fireball, which is the only thing that could really damage Naruto when he's in his darkness state. The only thing that could damage him in his darkness state is light. And the only thing that, and the thing with that is that he also has light. So if you know how to counter Naruto, bro can just whip the other thing out and be like, hey, you still got to deal with this, you know what I mean? So Naruto is an absolute powerhouse, to put it lightly. And because of this, Naruto was just more than confident when it comes to his battle against Neji in the final preliminaries, right? And so the battle would start. The battle would be a very, very easy one for Naruto, considering all of these abilities that I just explained. And Naruto goes on to perform a darkness cocoon so that nobody could have even seen what was happening before Naruto looks at Neji and, like he's watching Neji, but Neji can't see him until he activates his Byakugan and can finally see Naruto. However, it's blurry. Naruto goes on to create multiple shadow clones of himself, and now the chakra levels are all dispersed and blurry because it's kind of like muddied up by the jutsu that Naruto's using and the fact that he's using his darkness abilities. And so Neji can't really tell which one is the real Naruto, but Naruto ultimately would tell Neji that he's a fool. That he's a fool for hurting Hinata, and that he's a fool for believing in the concept of destiny. That destiny has nothing to do with what somebody can become, and that he can choose his own path. But by then, he would tell him that he was a fool for hurting Hinata at the end, and would be like, and for that, you're gonna pay, Neji. Before then using his light ability to like let out so much radiant light that Neji's Byakugan just completely like he can't see a thing. And imagine being imagine having such good vision. That's like having such a good nose and somebody straight farts in your face. Like that would hurt. So imagine having a dojutsu and somebody straight just sprinkles like the sun in your face. That's how bad it hurts for Neji. He feels like his eyes literally started burning from the light. And then after that, Naruto pulled up on Neji and gave him a haymaker of a Sanji style kick, which he would have shot at Neji and sent him crashing into the wall, indenting Neji's body into the walls of the Chunin exams barriers. And now Naruto would be declared as the winner, Neji being taken away in a stretcher, and just Neji having time to reflect on his actions, honestly. But ultimately, what pretty much ends up happening after this is the battle between Sasuke and Gaara. Now this battle goes down just like you guys would expect in canon, and Sasuke does end up using his Chidori against Gaara. However, Gaara, because he doesn't have the abilities that he would have otherwise, the abilities such as like the abilities such as having the what was I even saying? I just had like the biggest mental brain fart. I'm sorry. I looked at my phone and I was replying to a text, so that's why I really couldn't like figure out what I was saying. My bad though. But anyways, so Naruto obviously watching this battle go down and seeing that Gaara was about to transform, and he was about to go crazy and haywire, Naruto would be like, I have to help. And so he turns to the direction of Hiruzen, who would be watching from the stands, and Hiruzen just kind of nods his head. And seeing as Orochimaru's not there to lead the attack with the Sand Village, the Sand doesn't even end up attacking. And so Naruto, seeing that Gaara was about to leave, would speed blitz in front of Gaara, like zapping there, and then he would kick him back into the stadium as Gaara would land on the floor, eat dirt, and then look at Sasuke and then back at Naruto, who would have just kicked him into the ground. And then Gaara would like get angry and be like, mother, he doesn't let us escape. And Naruto would say, finish your battle with Sasuke, and then afterwards, I'll wipe the floor with you myself. And Gaara, being angry, then from here goes on to pretty much try to face off against Sasuke, but obviously because Gaara has a Shukaku state, he does end up beating Sasuke, and right as he's about to kill him, Naruto steps in the way and would say, Sasuke's eliminated, now fight me. Before Gaara looks at him and he would say, sure, Naruto, I'm gonna enjoy killing you. And Naruto would grit his teeth smile and grit his teeth before looking at him and saying, sure thing, buddy. From here, opening a gigantic tornado of just straight darkness in the arena. And Naruto would say, I've had a bit of time to work on this during that month. Let's see if I can put this to good use. And Gaara inside of it can't even tap into his Shukaku, and for the first time in Gaara's life, he doesn't hear that voice in his head screaming at him to kill everybody. And Gaara falls to the ground, just like crying because of how peaceful it is, before Naruto turns to him and says that this fight's not over, to get up and fight him. And Gaara just looks at him with eyes filled with tears. And Naruto is just like, he just literally can't bring himself to fight Gaara, seeing that Gaara is going through like clearly mental strain. So Naruto tells Gaara to just forfeit now, and Naruto could help out Gaara with that little problem of his. Gaara then looks at the direction of Naruto and would just forfeit. He would say he quits, he's done. Naruto then looks at the Hokage Hiruzen and would ask Hiruzen if he can tighten the seal on Gaara, on Shukaku, right? And so Hiruzen doing so would finally let Gaara be sane for once. Like finally Gaara can like go to sleep like a normal person. Finally Gaara can be a normal person. And this is why Gaara's character development and change happens during the 3-year time skip. Now obviously because there was no attack on the village and Hiruzen doesn't die, we don't get a scene where, you know, Jiraiya and Naruto go off for Tsunade. Instead, what ends up actually happening is that Naruto and Jiraiya, as well as Hiruzen, would continue training on Naruto's abilities more and more and more day by day. Ultimately, weeks end up passing, and eventually 2 members of the Akatsuki would arrive in the village, fighting off against the top Jonin of the village and ultimately taking them all down. Eventually, when Might Guy and Kisame were about to get down, Naruto, Jiraiya, and even Hiruzen would end up arriving on the scene. And, you know, Itachi seeing that Hiruzen was the one that was there, and Hiruzen looking at Itachi, you know, they both kind of have this understanding of like, hey, you know, you're still working with us. Don't make it like don't let this fight happen, you know? And so, because of that, Itachi would look at Kisame and be like, let's retreat. The Hokage's here, as well as Jiraiya. We don't stand a chance, you know what I mean? Like, it's better not to do this now. We'll catch him another day. And Kisame would grit his teeth and be like, he can't be that powerful, can he? And Itachi would say that that old man is more powerful than he could imagine. Before Kisame grits his teeth and they end up jumping away, just fleeing the scene, as Naruto would look at the direction of Hiruzen and be like, wow, they were really afraid of you? And Hiruzen would say, not quite, Naruto. Before then, going towards his office and having a talk with Jiraiya and Naruto, telling them both the truth of Itachi. How Itachi didn't truly just kill his clan for no reason, and how Itachi did it to stop an entire coup d'etat that was going to break out one way or another in the Hidden Leaf Village. Had he not done what he did, the village would very well not be in the same position that it's at today. And Itachi should really just be hailed as a hero, because Itachi really saved everything if you really stop and think about it. After this though, Naruto, Jiraiya, and even Hiruzen would all pretty much get together, and they're all in consensus of one thing, that it's about time for Hiruzen to retire. He's been doing this for far too long, and they think that Hiruzen deserves a very well-deserved break from being the Hokage. And so Hiruzen brings it up to Jiraiya, saying that it's about time that he would take the mantle of being Hokage, that he's not going to be taking no for an answer, and that Jiraiya is going to become the next Hokage, the 5th Hokage. After hearing this, Jiraiya would be like, no, but like Tsunade could do it, right? And Hiruzen would say, look, Jiraiya, I wish we could, but Tsunade is not here, and I don't have the luxury exactly to be waiting for you to go get her. Plus, she's made her decision. She doesn't want any part of this village, so I think it'd be best if you became Kage. So I'm handing the responsibility over to you. The paperwork's going to be done tomorrow, and you're officially going to become the Kage in 2 days. Have fun, Jiraiya. Oh, and by the way, just so you don't struggle too much with the paperwork, something that Naruto taught me just a couple months ago. Use shadow clones. It'll help your paperwork go by a whole lot faster. That way, you can relax more. But me, I'm done. I think my last fight was more than rowdy enough for me to quit off of that. And so, after this, we would have a scene in which Jiraiya is just kind of sat there and he's just like, okay, because there's nothing for Jiraiya to really do or say. And so what happens is that Sasuke, because of the fact that Orochimaru's dead, Sasuke has nobody to go with, so there's no reason for Sasuke to search for power. And so Naruto continues his training and eventually gets to the point where he masters his abilities and he can use everything at 100%. Naruto learns the perfect balance between darkness and light to the point where it doesn't affect him negatively. It doesn't make him like evil or anything like that. And Naruto is finally able to use his abilities without losing control, with having control for the first time. Naruto found balance. That's all Naruto has needed this whole time, just balance. And he finally found it. And now, Naruto also wants to learn something else. He wants to learn Sage Mode. But since Naruto never exactly made a summoning contract early on, he has no real creature that he could summon. And so Naruto is suggested by Jiraiya that he should summon his summonings, toads. But Naruto says, nah, I don't really want to summon that, Jiraiya. It's honestly kind of lame. And so Naruto tries his luck to see what he would summon if he was to use his own random summoning contract and place blood on it. And so Naruto ends up summoning a gorilla. Why? Because I think it's just so sick to see like a silverback ape just straight pounding at its chest and just like being fierce. It's like bro, I don't know why, but I just think they're so cool. And so that's the creature that Naruto's gonna be summoning, and he essentially goes to their place of like residency kind of, and it's literally just a jungle. Like they're living in like a really cool looking jungle. It looks majestic. They actually eat fruits and not insects. And when Naruto's training with them and learning Sage Mode, it would take him all of 6 months to master it, because it requires a whole lot more nature energy than the one that the Toad summoners use. And he would even have access to a special ability that these apes have, which is essentially to like have crackhead rage and have like crackhead anger, or like the angrier he gets, the stronger Naruto becomes. And he has access to insane strength, speed, and his senses are off of the chart. Naruto's intimidation factor using Sage Mode is absolutely insane. And Naruto is insanely strong, and his durability, well, to put it simply, it's completely off the charts. After all of this, finally, the 3-year training time skip would be over, and Naruto would have finally completed all of the training that he needs. And so, in the background, we would have Sasuke training with Kakashi. Now, because Sasuke doesn't have implemented all the drugs that Orochimaru would have used on him, like enhancements and stuff, Sasuke wouldn't have gotten as strong as he did in the original, but instead he would have found the path to power in a bit of a different way, using jutsus, relying on more of his intelligence, relying on, close hand combat. And Naruto would even train with Sasuke as well. So having such a powerful training partner would boost Sasuke to exactly the same level that we would have had him being in the start of the Shippuden arc for Naruto. And so, because of that, eventually we would get to the point where the Gaara mission would finally come to pass. However, because Jiraiya already knows how powerful Naruto is, he would send Naruto on a solo mission, which Naruto is to go off, defeat 2 Akatsuki members, and save the Kazekage of the Hidden Sand Village. Something that Naruto was already definitely made aware of because he stays in the village this time. And so Naruto was access to a plethora of different informations that he would have never had access to before. That said though, eventually what would end up happening is Naruto is sent alone, and using his abilities of light speed would easily be able to make it towards the direction of the Sand Village, meaning that once he arrives and sees the condition that Kankuro is in, he would end up actually taking Kankuro back towards the Hidden Leaf Village for Sakura to try to heal him, with the help of Lady Chiho, who would give her input on how to make the poison go away. She gives her own notes, which Naruto would take back with him, and so Kankuro's life would be saved. But because of this, a bit more time would be wasted, and Naruto would end up arriving towards the direction of Deidara and Sasori's cave that they would hold Gaara in at exactly the same amount of time that would happen in the canon events. He would then go on to speed blitz inside of said cave, and the way that he would do it is by literally kicking through the wall that would have been in front of Naruto, like the gigantic rock. Bro kicked straight through it using his light abilities and blitzing in, like think of Kizaru from One Piece. And blitzing in, Naruto smiles before slamming his hands on the ground and saying, "Darkness Cocoon!" before a huge amount of darkness would come out of nowhere. And Naruto smirks before then looking at the direction of, Deidara and Sasori, who were both inside of it. Naruto using his darkness ability to blend in with the shadows and be able to be completely undetected by the both of them, making it so that they had no idea and no way at all to face off against Naruto in these conditions. Naruto from here using a combo attack using the cocoon trap would end up absolutely destroying their chakra networks because he absorbs it all with his darkness, and then he would ask them if they would rather die or tell him where their leader is. And being 2 great Akatsuki members, they refuse. So Naruto, using his solar flare-like ability, would blind them and then shoot a beam of light at each of them, incinerating them before zipping off to save Gaara and bringing him back to the village, where Lady Chiho sacrifices herself to bring him back to life. And Naruto would return to find out that Jiraiya went to the village hidden in the rain to try to beat the leader of the Akatsuki. Naruto would be like, "Why would Jiraiya do that?" And Jiraiya would say that he did it because Hiruzen agreed to come back. Naruto would be like, bro, you're like Naruto in the office looking at Hiruzen would be like, he's crazy. Like, he does know that you're on death's door, basically. And Hiruzen, you know, hitting his pipe again, starts coughing like crazy, would be like, yeah, I know, kid. Someone needs to go get Tsunade because that kid, he is not fit to be Kage. And Naruto sighs before saying, where's the village hidden in the rain? And Hiruzen points him towards the general direction before Naruto blitzes that way, and immediately hearing an explosion in the village hidden in the rain, Naruto goes towards it only to see that Jiraiya is fighting against 6 people with orange hair. Naruto getting involved would immediately jump in the way, and so as this is all happening, Sasuke would be sent as backup for Team Asuma so they could end up defeating both Kakazu and Hidan. Now obviously Kakazu would be defeated in a different ways, considering that Naruto's Rasengan isn't there to instant kill, because, you know, but instead of that, we end up actually getting Kirin, which is definitely capable of doing the trick, and so the outcome of the battle would remain constant. And while all that would be happening, Naruto and Jiraiya would tag team Pain and defeat him instantly. Naruto, once he finds out about the pesky ability of the Diva Path, he would immediately cover the entire area with his darkness, letting darkness seep out of his left side as, you know, light is shining from the other side, and Naruto lets it cover the entire area, trying to pretty much like take away the chakra paths of these things, but realizing that it's not working because they're not real people. He would be confused and would be like, what's going on? And so instead of trying to do that, Naruto would look at Jiraiya and say, close your eyes, before Jiraiya does so, and using the solar flare ability would blind everybody, including Konan and a bunch of the villagers that are in the village, right? That would have been seeing this from afar. Naruto, after using this attack, tells Jiraiya to immediately try to destroy as many of them as he can. And Jiraiya, using a big ball Rasengan, destroys one of the paths as Naruto goes towards another, and him using another different attack, using a beam of light, he would transform it into a ball that would attack 3 different paths of pain, and with his other hand, he creates a ball of darkness, which attacks the Diva Path, but the Diva Path, because he was blinded, just shoots out a repulsive force, and it would cause the ball to be sent flying outwards. Naruto, after this, would blitz at the direction of the Diva Path and say that it's over, before kicking it so incredibly hard that he thought it would have shattered. But the Diva Path, using its abilities of push and pull, would push Naruto's kick back, and it would be a clash of like pushing Naruto's leg back and Naruto's light speed thunderous kick trying to actually make contact. Naruto would be sent flying back, and Jiraiya, using his Sage mode, would come in using a big ball Rasengan and get grabbed by the Diva Path right in the neck. Naruto, seeing this, was not playing no more games, and so, blitzing at the direction using his real top speeds, Naruto rips out the rods that would be inside of the Diva Path, and the rods stop the connection between him and the Diva Path, meaning that Naruto was able to trace it back, and because he now has his Sage mode activated, he would be able to trace them back to Nagato, who would have a very, very similar Takano Jutsu with Naruto. However, it would change because Jiraiya would be there to help sway Nagato even more than he would have been in the original. So after this, they return, and Naruto finds out that Sasuke wants all the smoke with his big brother. And so Naruto tags along with Sasuke, telling him that he doesn't have the choice of whether he wants Naruto to tag along. He's coming with him because they're teammates, and he's not going to let Sasuke fight off against Itachi by himself. He's tempted to tell Sasuke about what really happened, but Naruto knows that there's a reason Itachi's doing this. Like, Itachi clearly wants this fight to happen, and if Itachi is the person he says he is, then this might play out a different way. And so, tagging along with Sasuke, Naruto would be stopped at the village gates. I mean at the gates of the Uchiha compound, and Naruto, looking towards Kisame, would be like, "Let me go, bro. Like let me go, bro. Like, get out of my way. Like, I'm not in the mood to play games right now." And Kisame, looking at Naruto, smirks and would be like, "You think I'm playing games, kid? Matter of fact, I remember you. You're the one that we were supposed to capture. You know what? I bet I'd get a hefty amount of money if I brought you in," before grabbing at his sword and trying to kill Naruto. However, Naruto was not having it. Naruto was already angry because Sasuke had been giving him an attitude all day, and so Naruto straight uppercuts Kisame's head clean off of his body before grabbing Samehara and just straight like bonding with him. He then goes on to watch the entire battle between Itachi and Sasuke, and it plays out just like it does in canon, leading to Itachi, you know, obviously going towards his brother, tapping him and saying he's sorry, Sasuke, and Sasuke just completely passing out. This leads Obito to try to capture Sasuke. However, because Naruto was not about to let that slide, Naruto appears in front of Sasuke in a blinding light and then says, "Whoa there, buddy, I can't have you taking my teammate. What would that say about me, right?" As Obito would say, "Get out of the way, kid, or I'm gonna have to kill you." And Naruto says, "I don't think you want to. Pretty sure you need my tailed beast." And Obito says, "I don't need a thing from you, Naruto," before he then, you know, like he gets murderous intent out and he blitzes at Naruto in the same fashion that he would have done so against his against his late father Minato, right? And so Naruto, using his darkness ability, goes into the earth, and so both Obito and Naruto couldn't hit each other, right? Ultimately, this leaves Obito to like have his phasing ability wear off for a split second. And keep in mind, Naruto's already at insane levels of speed. Naruto has light level speed plus his insane physical body speed. So he has the speed of light plus the speed of his normal movement plus the speed of Sage Mode stacked on top of that. That split second was all Naruto needed in order to land a gigantic attack, which would have easily nullified Obito's chakra for just long enough for Naruto to ultimately, using his darkness ability, suck Obito into his darkness dimension and just shoot him back out old and wrinkly and just dead. Like Obito was on his last legs. He would be like, "You fool," with his last breaths. And after this, Naruto smirks as he knows that he just avoided something crazy. He doesn't know what, but something was avoided. And so Naruto grabs Sasuke and puts him over his shoulder before making his way back to the village, where eventually a couple more years would pass and eventually Naruto would be named the 7th Hokage by the village, and Naruto would be hailed as a hero once his lineage would come out. And Naruto, being the 7th Hokage, he'd get down to business. Whenever the Otsutsuki finally end up arriving, Naruto handles that easily. After, that happens, obviously Hagoromo gives him half of his power and Naruto gets even more OP. So Naruto is just a gigantic cluster of straight overpowered. I'm betting you guys definitely probably want to know who Naruto ends up with, and honestly, that's up for your own interpretation. If you want Naruto to end up Hinata, he ends up with Hinata. If you want Naruto to end up with Ino, he ends up with Ino. Tamari, you get the point. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the conclusion of what if Naruto had half light, half dark. If you guys enjoyed today's what if movie, then definitely consider leaving a like, seeing as it seriously helps out so much with YouTube's algorithm, and it would mean the absolute world to me if you guys were to go down below into the comment section, tell me what your favorite part was, or simply just report your attendance, because I'm going to be taking that down below. That said though, ladies and gentlemen, it has been your boy Xehther. I love each and every single one of you guys. Peace.